Dear colleagues and friends, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to pay tribute to Kofi Annan, one of the best of us, a man who embodied the United Nations values and made us all proud to call ourselves his colleagues. This is a personal loss for many of us. It is difficult to imagine what a blow it must be to his wife and to his family. Our hearts go out to them. We know how much Kofi meant to the world. I would like to say a few words about what he meant to all of us who work for the United Nations. Kofi Annan's years in office were an exciting time. He put forward new ideas. He brought new people into the United Nations family. He spoke passionately about our mission and our role. He created a renewed sense of possibility, both inside and outside our organization, about what the UN could do and could be for the world's people. Because of his long and varied career in different offices and departments, it sometimes seemed as though Kofi knew everyone personally. But even staff members who never met him felt a bond with Kofi because he was really one of us. As I said on Saturday, in many ways, Kofi Annan was the United Nations. His most defining features were his humanity and solidarity with those in need. He put people at the center of the work of the United Nations and was able to turn compassion into action across the UN system. We are still reaping the rewards of the Millennium Summit, when he brought the world together to agree the first global targets on poverty and child mortality. His response to the HIV/AIDS epidemic united governments, non-governmental organizations, and the healthcare industry, and undoubtedly saved many lives. And Kofi Annan faced up to the grave errors made by the United Nations in the 90s. In its response to the Rwanda genocide and Srebrenica killings, by shining a light inside the UN, the reports he commissioned aimed to make sure such terrible mistakes are never repeated and set the international community on a new course in its response to mass atrocities. A true voice for the voiceless. He did not shy away from the most challenging issues, but worked creatively to bridge differences and protect the most vulnerable. He stood his ground without antagonizing others. His humility, good humor, courtesy, and charm went hand in hand with enormous wisdom and strength. He will always remain vivid in my memory for as long as I live, but not essentially because of the fact he was an extraordinary statesman, a remarkable diplomat, an inspiring leader, but above all, because of his gentleness, of his warmth, of his friendship. He was indeed a good man and a gentleman, and always at our disposal to support us, to comfort us, to be in full solidarity with us in any difficult moment that one of us as colleagues of him would have. Perhaps we can best honor his legacy by recalling his own words delivered at the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony, and I quote, "Securing real and lasting improvement in the lives of individual men and women is the measure of all we do at the United Nations. In these times of growing political divides and intractable conflicts, we need the peacemaking spirit of Kofi Annan more than ever." Thank you.
I am honored on this solemn occasion to sign the Book of Condolence and to speak in the name of His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the government and people of Ghana in this beautiful setting of the meaningful and celebrated Chagall-stained window, aptly named Window of Peace and Human Happiness. I also wish to express Ghana's deepest appreciation to Secretary General Antonio Guterres for this ceremony and for the kind words and tribute paid to the late Kofi Annan, the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations, who passed away in the early hours of Saturday, the 17th of August, 2018. It is a rather difficult time for the family and people of Ghana, the land of birth of Kofi Annan. But we find comfort in the outpouring of tributes from virtually every corner of the world. On this sad occasion, we salute and celebrate Kofi Annan's memory and contributions to peace and security, socioeconomic development, human rights, health, and so much more. As the first Secretary General to be appointed from the ranks of the United Nations and from Black Africa, he understood the organization and firmly believed in its charter and vision. He sought to bring the United Nations closer to the people it was founded to serve. He embodied what it meant to embrace the responsibilities of global citizenship, and at the very core of his vision was the non-negotiable imperative for human dignity in everything the organization pursued. This great son of Ghana and of Africa was our precious gift to the world, just as much as he was our pride. We will not forget him. Ghana and Africa, and indeed the world, will remember him for his strong advocacy for peace and security, for emphasizing that peace may not only be the absence of war, but more importantly, ahoto, which in the Ghana Akan word means well-being of many, if not all. We will remember what he stood for, and for the mild manner and soft voice which spoke wisdom and truth to power. And we will endeavor to follow his example. In conclusion, Mr. Secretary General, let me once again thank you and your entire staff, both current and retired, for honoring our beloved Kofi Annan. I, on behalf of President Akufo-Addo, his government, and the people of Ghana, would also wish to use this opportunity to express appreciation to permanent representatives and ambassadors, current and retired, as well as people from all walks of life who have reached out to us to express sympathy and to pay tribute to our departed Kofi Annan. Kofi Atta Busumru, rest in peace. Thank you.
get the signature. I'm waiting for my time. We need to start.